Boop. Oh, that's what I'm forgetting. Okay, I knew something was off. I knew something was off. Boop. Ever so slightly. I was like, screen is black. Why is it black? It's because I didn't set it to record Minecraft. My bad. My bad. We're gonna be hopping into some King SMP here today. I'm a little late. I am just every time that I start streaming. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm a little more late every time. Is that intentional? No. No, it is not. But it is a thing. It is a thing. Um, Let me go ahead and do the Discord thingies. Boop. Okay. Okay. Oh, and I also need to submit my own taxes before I get in trouble. Okay. How's everybody doing? It feels like forever since I've been here. It feels like a long, long time since I've streamed, even though it's only been like 4 days. It feels like it's been way, way, way too long. Let me go ahead and catch up here on chat. Looney, congrats on grabbing first. Hello, Snacks. Thank you for submitting your taxes. Looney, thank you for submitting your taxes. Pi, thank you for submitting yours. GG's, guys. GG's. I missed first. Oh, no. It's okay. It's okay. Vishes, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Let's go. I was first. W. What do you mean? It's been 3 years. I know it's been so long. It's been so long. But it's good to see you guys nonetheless. We're going to be working on the tree. That is the project of choice today, and for probably the foreseeable future. We've got about that much more to go, which is a lot. It is a lot, but you know, we could probably get a lot of it done today, is my hope. I'm just gonna try to grind out as much of it as I can. And then hopefully we get it done today. If not, that's okay. I'm gonna take it pretty easy today, in all honesty. It's been a long, long, long weekend for me. I was in charge of teenagers, and then I got home, and Mother's Day, and I'm not gonna act like I did a ton of things for Mother's Day, but it was enough to put me 6 feet under the ground. I was tired, okay? I could sleep forever, in all honesty. Today I woke up at, like, I thought a decent hour, and then I fell back asleep. And, it's been a long day. But, on the bright side, I've been working on my video game. And you guys are probably sick to death. Wait. Yeah, you're sick to death of hearing me talking about this game that I've been working on for like the last couple of months, probably, is how long I've been working on it. Last year, really, of how much I've been talking about it, but actually working on it last couple of months. But I finished the Discord server today, and it looks so good, and I can't wait to invite you guys to it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be really, really, really fun. So hopefully, hopefully, hopefully that all goes to plan. I gotta get video done tonight or tomorrow. One of those, because I don't know if you guys have watched the recent videos. I've been enjoying making videos again, but I don't have anything lined up for this week, so I need to put out another video because I'm in trouble otherwise. So I'm gonna finish up a video tonight. It's literally like a couple of small things. Like I gotta add music and it's done. And then and I need to start writing my next video so that it's ready for next week. I gotta try to get ahead because I'm falling so far behind on everything. And then like, we'll get into all that in a little bit. There's a lot there. It's been a very, very, very busy time. Hello, Marina. Welcome on in. You're the worst parkour ever. Thank you. I appreciate that. If I can't be the best, I might as well be the worst. Like that's my theory anyway. Let's see. I thought I missed Mother's Day this year. I forgot that US does it later. Oh, dude, that would have been so bad. Oh, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it, Swifty. Thank you very much, dude. Band Banquet W. Hope you enjoy that, dude. Eat lots of food. That's what they do at banquets, right? They eat food. I don't know. I've never been to a banquet. I've never been to a banquet. Thank you, Lurk. I appreciate it. I'm actually like decent at parkour. I should go ahead and clarify that. You stick me up in like MCC Island. I have done pretty good in MCC Island, in my opinion, anyway. I think I got first once in their parkour warrior game, but I haven't played that in forever. I want to play MCC Island again. I should get a group together and maybe we could play for stream. It's tough. I don't have like as much free time as I used to. So for me to actually like have enough time to do an MCC Island stream, it's a little stressful. So I'll have to think about it, but maybe possibly that would be fun. It's been a long time. Man. I'm trying to think. It's probably been about 6 months since we've done an MC Island stream, I think. Or no, I think actually it was probably December now I think about it, because I played sometime around Christmas, I want to say. I think. Maybe. I don't remember. I don't know is the truth. I know I played, it wasn't on stream, it was on somebody else's stream. I played MCC Island on New Year's Eve and day, because time zones, W. But outside of that, I don't know when the last time I played was. It's been way too long if that's the case. I don't know. I enjoy minigame servers. I always fall out of the habit of playing on them, and it makes me sad. Okay, we're gonna do this. Also, the game is a little quiet, so I'm gonna turn that up. Just a smidge. Boop. Okay. Oh. Okay, we're falling. Good to know. Okay. I don't know if it was a smart idea or a dumb idea to hollow out the leaves, but it felt kind of dumb. Now that I'm here, like this is pain. But it's gonna look cool. I mean, it would have looked cool if I didn't hollow it out, but it would have required a ton more leaves, so I guess it's not all for nothing. Okay. So I talked to you guys a little bit about my week. It's been busy, if you couldn't tell. Like I said, I was in charge of teenagers for the weekend. That was fun. That was really, really fun. Very stressful. Very tiring. But it was fun. Can I thank you? I really, oh no. Okay, let's try that again. And I told you last week that I was trying to get a job. That job has, like, I'm pretty sure entirely and totally fell through at this point. I don't know why, but they sent me an email the other day asking when I'd be available. I responded, and then I got nothing back. So I don't know what to do there, but you know, that's a thing. That is a thing. It's only added to my long list of problems that could probably get me a medical diagnosis for depression. But you know, I have Minecraft. Like you said, Ethan, why have job when play Minecraft? I agree. I wish I could just play Minecraft all day, every day. Like I have been for probably, I guess, the better part of 3, almost 4 years. But I need money. I need so much money. So, you know, a job will hopefully fix that. It's just, it's a process. It's a very, very long and stupid process to get a job, apparently. But let's see, Mumbo, hello, welcome on in. I just hired a hit on someone on a hardcore server. That's devious. That is devious. I gotta find your niche and blow up, man. Make it a career. I always find your streams to be very warm and inviting. Just needs that spark. You know, I appreciate that. I do. Honestly, okay, real talk. I won't give you guys like this whole woe is me sort of deal, because it's not accurate. In terms of YouTube, I'm actually doing like really, really well. If I keep up on the current rate that I'm on, which I am actually on an upward trend, so it'll do better, I will actually be monetized, and I'll have a decent following by the end of the year. However, I can't wait till the end of the year to start making money. I've got a lot of obligations, and I'm 20, almost 21. I can't afford to not start saving money and like actually having some amount of a retirement fund. Like, as much as I love making content, and I will continue to do it even after getting a job, it doesn't put anything behind me for a retirement fund, so that when I'm, you know, in my 60s, I can enjoy my life when I'm done working. Saying 60s sounds insane to me. It's probably more like 70s by the time I'll actually be able to retire. But anyway, my point more so is just YouTube, when I do first get monetized, will not pay like anything, probably. I mean, I'll talk to a couple of people and I'll see, but the people I know, they're kind of like, yeah, you're not gonna make much until you reach this stage or whatever. And it's like, you know, that's fair. You know, everybody starts somewhere, and I'm not mad. It's just sad seeing my time dwindle. Not necessarily the time that I have to make Minecraft videos. I'm not super concerned about that. But just all that free time that I do have right now, it's very quickly getting eaten up by doing more YouTube stuff that I really should have taken the time to finish beforehand. Let's see. Same, I would love to play Minecraft, but life doesn't allow that often. That's fair. That's fair, Snacks. I already died, but my head glitched, so it's completely invisible. That's cool. Told the redstone dude that my invisible head would be his if he killed the dude who has been alive the longest on the server. That's funny, Mumbo. That's W. I respect it. I respect it. Hello, Zooted. Welcome on in. What's good, brother? Gotta be running my realm here in a little bit, so you're live, so I decided to say hi beforehand. Well, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. hopefully the realm treats you well today. I know that it's usually a lot of fun, just chilling with the homies. I need to start putting some things down on paper for the next season of King SMP, but right now my big focus, admittedly, is Omnia, which isn't fair to people who aren't at all interested in my game. But Omnia is quite literally everything, so it's eaten up a lot of my time. Patreon could be an option for you. Also, do you dual stream on Twitch? I do dual stream on Twitch, yes. I actually started on Twitch. That's really where I like to be, in all honesty. I like YouTube streaming, and I would not ever do away with it. Probably. Like, I really do find myself enjoying YouTube streams now. Back when I first started, it wasn't like a good platform to stream on, but I started on Twitch, and then I started doing YouTube content on the side. And we actually were full-time at one point on Twitch, which sounds weird to say because it makes it sound like I was really famous. I wasn't. It was just I really didn't have that much money to spend, and I had enough money coming in that I was actually paying my bill, which was like $100 a month, and so I was making enough that I was actually able to put some into savings, but those days have kind of long passed, and it was mostly one person putting all that money in. And honestly, I don't know what I would feel happy with anymore. If it came down to like doing content full time, what would that look like? You know, I think I still want it, but what would that be? Because ultimately, for the lifestyle I want to live, content is like the only way that I could sustain that, I think. And that's just due to the fact that I want to be able to have a little bit of time to myself. And I love doing content, so if I did content full time, I could still have time to myself. However, if I wasn't doing content full time, then that means that in my free time, my time to myself, I'm spending that time doing content, which would probably end up leading to a burnout of some sort, if I had to guess. Also, hello, Cora. Welcome on in. Thank you for submitting your taxes. Oh, and also, Ethan, I have looked into Patreon at one point in time, and I am considering it for mostly my game that I'm working on, but I'm not sure because I feel weird about it. I may do a Kickstarter for it. That would probably be the more likely option. But the problem I've run into is that I don't think I can justify anybody giving me money without anything in return, and I don't know what I could give somebody in return for subscribing to me on Patreon. So I don't know. I have looked into it though. Now, when I get YouTube memberships, I will have those, and you guys will be able to pick that up if you so desire. I believe it gives you ad-free viewing, but I'll double check that. I mean, you won't have ads anyway for the first couple of months on YouTube when I have memberships, but it is something I want to do, is have YouTube memberships, because I think those are really cool. And there's a badge, there's something that you can show off there, so that's the thing. But yeah, you know, as much as I'd like doing content full-time, I do realize that, like, that's far out. I've been doing it for 3 years. Like, I've been doing content 4 years now. Pretty much like it's been my full-time job, although I didn't realize that I could put in more work, and I've been optimizing my workflow so that I can put in more work. It's been really interesting seeing how things have grown, and I'm excited to, you know, keep going to the next level, wherever that might be. And I can't wait to meet some new creators. Like, that's so exciting to me. It's so exciting to me seeing all the people, you know. I know so many not new. I know so many faces that I didn't know last year, and they've been able to teach me a lot about YouTube just from watching their streams even, and their videos. There's a lot to learn, and I'm excited about it. I mean, it is open for anyone to join, so it's not just Homely exclusive. That's cool. I like that. I run my server here for anybody as well. Although I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. That's another interesting thing. I'm intending to keep King SMP open forever. And I do want it to be open forever for free. But I have been running into some issues, particularly related to, hang on, I need to clean up my inventory a little bit here. Particularly related to hosting. I run my server through a server host, and it's getting a little expensive. And this isn't me getting ready to beg you guys for money. That's not what I'm about to do. So don't worry. Whoa, something's wrong with my mouse. Okay. Anyway, hello Undersea Bard. Welcome on in. It's good to see you, dude. Good to see you. So I've been thinking about some ways that we could cut down on server costs. And so there's a couple of things I could do. One, I get rid of the proxy, which isn't great because it protects us from DDoSes and the like. So, like, that's not ideal. But it would cut down my cost by a decent chunk. We could get rid of Bedrock support, which would mean that we would have less overall RAM usage, which means I could cut down on my server, monthly server payment. Or I shell out a bunch of money and self-host. And I know some people who also self-host. So it probably wouldn't be hard to do it if I could just get some pointers from them, which I'm sure I probably could. However, it would probably, I don't know how much it would cost me to start out. Like, it's a lot of money to put up front, but if you look into it, you're actually saving a lot of money. So that's the other thing. Like, let me pull it up here. I'll tell you guys around about how much I'm looking at. Let's see. Where did I put the machine I was looking at? I like to build my own machine, but sometimes you can buy them cheaper, and I think this case it was actually cheaper to buy than it was to build, at least the thing I'm looking into. It's somewhere in here. I know that. There it is. Boop. Okay, server. So it cost me about, see, that thing right there is 370. But that doesn't include some of the other things I need, like the firewall. To get it immediately started and going, it would probably cost me about, I think it's probably extreme to say this, and this is like, by no means is this what I'd recommend somebody do. But if I wanted to go full force into self-hosting my machine or my server, I'm looking at 300 plus 400 plus 200. It's a little over a little over 1,000. But if you look into how much I spend on my server on a monthly basis, give me a second, I'll pull it up. Give me a long second, apparently. I'm spending about $20 a month on my server. Now, that's a little overpriced anyway, but 1,000 divided by 20, that's 50 months, okay? Well, 50 months, that's 4 years. So it'd take me 4 years to pay off my server, theoretically. Now, there are ways I could pay that off a little bit quicker as well. Particularly if I asked somebody else, hey, do you want me to host your server? I'll charge you this much to do it, just so that it keeps up the maintenance fees. It also gives me the opportunity to run as many servers as I want. I don't have to run just King SMP for $20 a month for 4 years. I can run King SMP plus a minigame server plus a survival server for me and a couple of friends plus let's just say Twitch SMP just for the lulz. I think I'm in the same region as the actual machine is. You know, I could host 4 servers on there and still have room for more. So it's a thing. I don't know if I'll do it anytime soon because it's a lot of money up front. But it would give me the ability to run servers with my friends. It would be a great opportunity for me to maybe add a little bit of side income as well. And it would be easy to set up. I am familiar with running a home server to some extent. I've done it before, but it was very, very, very temporary. I've never done it with my own machine, like a dedicated machine. I've run it with my own PC, but I've never run it on its own machine. I could also make a Discord bot using that, which would be nice. There's a lot of things I would love to have a server for, but I've never been able to actually run a server because of, am I bleeding? Just a little bit. That's fine. That's concerning, but that's fine. But, you know, I've been wanting to run a server for a long time. There's a lot of things that I'd love. And honestly, I could probably even rent a cloud server and run that and run a couple of different virtual machines off of that server. And theoretically, that would be enough. It would probably be cheap enough to run all of the things, but there's a lot of issues you can run into with that as well, so I gotta be careful. But I would like to run my own servers at some point. And so $1,000 to set that up, and then I probably wouldn't ever have to touch it again for probably, I don't know. Server grade hard drives, I think they last on average, like what, 10 years? Maybe, I don't know. I've never had a server grade hard drive. That's the other thing. Hard drives don't usually just die. But you do have to buy multiple so that you can do backups and such, which is a thing. Stream is buffering for me. I think I'll go. May come back later, but I don't know. See you later. All right, see you, Snacks. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I do want to run my own server hosting. I think it would just be better in the long run. Like, don't get me wrong. I love ViewRig. I really do. But having access to my own machine in-house is overall just a better deal for me. Like I said, if I run... I mean, I've been running my SMP for 3 years, and I've been paying for it for 2 years. And, let's see, I paid for my first year 100, and 20, I think, because I got a couple of free deals on it. And then last year I spent 100. No, it was more than 100 even. Well, if it's been $20 a month, 12 months, that's 240. So it was about 240 bucks last year on my server as well. So servers are expensive. They're very, very expensive. Hey, welcome on in, Raiders. Let me get you some shout outs here. How is it going, Elfie? How was your stream? I was there for a little bit, obviously. No, let me snooze the ads. Oh, no. You guys... the ads. No. Okay, well... I apologize. There may or may not be some ads on your guys' way. You guys haven't already, be sure to follow the one, the only King Alfie, who was last seen playing some Minecraft. They were on their Forever World. Great time over there. They were building some sewers. It was a really cool stream, honestly. I sat back and didn't do a whole lot of participating in chat, but I was listening, and there was some good conversation there. And I'm kind of gonna throw this out there. Elfie, you said that you're really good at not spoiling things, and I gotta say, I applaud it. But I am not great at keeping secrets. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I may or may not have accidentally spoiled who is in the next wave of Twitch SMP. Just a smidge. I tried. I really tried not to. But, it happened. It did happen. And, that's okay. That's okay. I just got kaboomed by ads. No! I ain't hear anything after you said that's... Man. The ads always show up at the worst times. Like... I cannot count the amount of times we've had ads right when a raid comes in is probably about 50% of the time. I want to say about every couple of times we get raided, it's right when an ad is about to start playing. Oh my gosh. Well, that's unfortunate. I need to see... I wonder... Voice crack, wow. I wonder if maybe, possibly, I could set up StreamerBot to snooze the ads the second a raid comes in. I wonder. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. StreamerBot is great. For those of you who don't know, StreamerBot is basically this little tool I use. It's my custom bot. Does all the heavy lifting for me. But, I haven't looked extensively into what it can do. I may need to do a little bit of a refresher course on it and run through and try some things. Boop. For those of you who just popped in, we were talking about running servers and how expensive they are. I pay $20 a month on my server, this one that I host right here. And it's really underpowered due to the fact that it needs more RAM, but it doesn't have access to more RAM. And unfortunately, I can't just buy more RAM because the server plans I need to get more RAM also come with, like, other things that I don't need. And they're like, there's this all sorts of unnecessary, almost bundleware that you get with every single server host. And it's like, well, if you need 8 gigs of RAM, then you must need 4 processors with a terabyte of storage. And it's like, no, I don't. I need 1 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, and 100 gigs of storage. If you'll take away the other things and give me a reduced rate, I'd be happy. But they don't do that. So I've been thinking about buying my own server machine, which would be like a little pricey, but it would be worth it. I'm back. Welcome back, Elfie. Welcome back. Sorry about the ads. They always have a habit of showing up right when a raid pops in, and it's so unfortunate. I'm telling you, man, I think Twitch knows the second when somebody's about to end, and it does that. It's just ready. It's always ready. But welcome in, Raiders. I hope you all had a good time. Also, Elfie, if you need to pop out of here and get some work done, I know you were talking about needing to get video done for Sunday. Feel free to do so. But as I was saying, before the ads cut you guys off, you were talking about how you were like a really good secret keeper. And I just have to say, I am not a good secret keeper. I'm usually okay, but the second that I forget that I need to keep it a secret, like when people aren't grilling me for answers or whatever, it slips right out. I think I probably did accidentally leak some of the names for Twitch SMP, Wave 2, when that happened. That was fun. Nobody caught that I did it, but I accidentally did that. I'm really, really good at secrets though, usually. If somebody's like asking me like to spoil it, I tight lips. Could not even begin to dream of spoiling it. But if it's just like a random conversation, we're just talking, forget it. I will have probably spilled every bean in the can. And you know, I feel a little bit bad about that. I haven't spoiled anything major, thankfully, in my time. But I just get excited in general conversation, and so it's like, oh no. I may have screwed up just a little bit. I'm a really good, this is probably not a good thing. I'm a good liar, is what I've learned, because sometimes I have spoiled things, and I'm really good at lying to cover that up. For example, I don't think he knew I did this, but Swiftu, he's in the new Twitch SMP wave. That's been announced, so I can talk about it now. The day before he had been announced, I had been sitting there and I was talking on stream just about some of the exciting things that I had planned, and I was like, man, I really need help with my base. So maybe I could just pay somebody to help me with it. I was like, you know what? I could probably pay Swiftu. Without even thinking the fact that Swiftu hadn't been announced to be on the server yet. And I absolutely spoiled that. But I just played it off like I was being stupid. I was like, oh wait, well, what am I saying? He's not even in the server. And I was talking about actually the cliffs. I need somebody to help me with the cliffs. I need to pay people to help me with my builds. It flipped the script a little bit. But everybody was just like, oh, you're talking about your cliffs and King SMP. You're so ADHD, King. And I'm like, I probably am, but this time, no, I just slipped up. One track mind, what is that? I would not know. Hello, Ava, welcome on in. Also, hello, I don't know. Welcome on in. It's not something everyone is good at. Can you tell me the server address? If you do !IP in the chat, you could, you can get all the information you need, Pookie. I don't want to call you Pookie. Never mind. What can I call you that's not Pookie? I don't like that. I'm gonna call you Noah. Is that okay? It felt wrong. It felt wrong. I didn't even think about it twice. I just saw it and read it, and I hate it. I'm sorry. I thought of applying for Wave 2 of TSMP, but I got enough going on, so I'd probably end up inactive again. That's fair, Alfie. That is fair. I thought about inviting a couple of my friends, but I knew they had a lot going on. And as it is right now, I don't think I've talked about this on stream too much. I've got so much going on, I don't know legitimately how long I'll be on Twitch SMP for. Like, I stayed for Wave 2, and that's because I really do support the idea of Twitch SMP. And I really want to finish my base, and I really enjoy all the people there, but even with my small subsection of content that I'm working on, I'm struggling to get stuff done on Twitch SMP. I cannot imagine running my viewer joinable server, having a consistent series that you know, would be probably, maybe not a weekly upload, but maybe a bi-weekly upload. I don't know. I don't know what the upload schedule will be for the SBKers, but having that on top of Twitch SMP, on top of a viewer joinable server, on top of, I mean, you've got your forever world. That's a lot. There's a lot to balance there. And I don't know. I can't imagine myself doing it, let alone how somebody else would do that without, like, just... I mean, I would say this is probably normal for most content creators in general. Just cutting out your entire social life, you know? I mean, that sounds like a lovely idea to me. Why not just get rid of your social life? I don't know. I could not. I could not imagine. Twitch SMP is fun though. I do enjoy it. Like I said, it's a lot. It's a commitment. And it's not like a huge time commitment, or it shouldn't be. But the way I've played it and locked myself in, I feel like I have to be on there more. I don't know. Let's see. Twitch SMP has a fairly quick season schedule, so I wouldn't be surprised if the season is over in a couple months. Honestly, yeah. I mean, last season lasted almost a full year, I think. I can't remember. I looked it up. It was a little under a year. I think it was like 11 months, maybe even 10. But it was, you know, at least it wasn't super long. I could not, if Twitch SMP were a longer running server, I probably would have dipped out, honestly, during Wave 2, just to open up the slot for somebody else. Because I don't foresee myself, in all honesty, being on longer than a year at this point. Because I've got a lot going on in, like, the very near future. Oh, that's not it. Okay. That's fine. I would recommend the server to other people. I just wouldn't recommend trying to juggle that plus some stupidly big plans plus I can't talk about that one. Plus running a viewer joinable server. Um, you know, there's a lot there's a lot there. It's fun though. I would recommend Twitch SMP to somebody who doesn't have all that going on. Or if you're just looking for content creator friends. I've got enough of them that I don't feel like I have to necessarily be on the server. As much as I do love collaboration, it's a lot of work. For... I don't want to say no gain. It's fun. That's the gain, though, when it comes to Twitch SMP, in my opinion. Because in all honesty, it doesn't pull insane views or anything. Not like... Don't want to sound like I'm chasing views necessarily, but... If I were, I could definitely pull a ton of views in different ways. It's just... Twitch SMP, the only gain I'm getting from it is I'm enjoying myself, which is... It is worth something. That is. But I also enjoy myself, you know... playing my viewer joinable server and building this mega base. And I enjoy myself making YouTube videos and making video games. Or not video games, plural. The video game, I enjoy that. I like making my video game. So, if it's between that and being in Twitch SMP, you know, why not do something that feels more fulfilling to me and doesn't stress me out? That being said, I fully intend to stick with it for the rest of this season, but when this season ends, what will happen, I don't know. Unless somebody says something that makes me want to stay, like, desperately... I don't know. There's a good chance I'll probably end up dipping out just for a little while. Maybe I'll come back later. Who knows? Hello, Yazdan. Welcome on in. I have a pretty good social life and a full-time job. The trick is to cut out sleep. Okay, I see. I'll try that. I don't know, I've been sleeping a lot lately. I could probably cut out a couple of hours. 7.5 hours tonight, or last night, was pretty nice. We could definitely go back down to 6, I think. I stole his phone again. I need someone to expose Ryan quickly. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm concerned. That's mildly concerning. But hello, welcome on in. Nope. I need all of this. How much leaves do I need? I'm gonna lurk for a bit and get dinner. Be back in a bit. Alright, sounds good. Enjoy your dinner. Appreciate the raid again, dude. And I will catch you in a little bit. Boop. And big tree. Okay. Material list. It doesn't say. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Hi, can I join? Absolutely. Absolutely, Aaron. You can join if you do !IP in the chat. It'll get you all the information you need. Me with my non-existent social life IRL. I could not ever have a social life. I've tried to have one. It's kind of failed miserably, I'm not gonna lie. Like, okay, this is gonna be mildly depressing. I have tried to have a social life, okay? I think that's something a lot of people misunderstand about me. I have tried. It just hasn't worked out. And unfortunately, it's really, really, really hard to make friends in my adult life. Even as a teenager, it wasn't easy to make friends with where I live. There's just nobody around where I live. Living in the middle of nowhere doesn't do you a whole lot of favors. So like all all the people that I would say I'm close enough to that I could probably call them a friend. I'd at least be able to call them in a pinch and they'd help me. They're like either twice or even 3 times my age, and it's like, that's a little depressing. A little depressing. Now, I have plenty of online friends. I've got plenty of people online, but it's not quite the same thing as what I'm realizing. And the closer I've gotten to having real life friends, the more I've realized that I really should have had them a long time ago. Like, it's bad. I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to like have somebody to go watch a movie with every once in a while? Yeah. It would be nice. Wouldn't it be nice to like to like, I don't know, have somebody you know nearby that's your age and that's not an immediate family member? It would be pretty nice. That's what I've realized. No, I don't have that, which sounds like really depressing, but that is a prison of my own creation. And that ties back into earlier, we were talking about like content creation as a full-time job thing, and we were kind of talking about that as a concept, and I was doing it for so long as if it were my full-time job. It was at an unhealthy point for a while there, especially considering I was getting like no results the way I was doing it, and I refused to change for the longest time. But I didn't hang out a lot with a ton of people because I was dead set on my goals, which you do have to be to some extent. But choosing to not have fun and choosing to not make friends isn't really the healthy way to go about that. And that was a choice that I made for whatever reason. It was because I wanted something. And did I get that? Not quite, but I shot for the stars, or the moon. I shot for the stars and I landed amongst the stars, and you know, that's okay. That worked. That's fine. It's his girlfriend. I'm hiding under his bed. Just expose him, please. I don't have any dirt on him. He likes being Lightning McBean. I know that. But that's like not that big of an expose, I would say. Also, just to fix that command. It's in here, right? Yeah. Boop. Just so you know, Aaron, there's the IP in chat for you. Okay, I understand the feeling. I tried when I was younger, then my friends bullied me, so that's fair, Ava. That is fair. It sucks. People are cruel. I've luckily not really ever been bullied, but I have had a handful of friends be extremely toxic, both online and in the real world. And it's tough because sometimes people will paint you out to be the bad guy for setting boundaries and for eventually saying enough is enough and cutting them out of your life, but it is probably the most freeing thing you can ever do. I have no regrets for any of those instances. My only regret is that I couldn't have changed their mind, but that's like, or changed their ways rather. But, you know, that's not something I had control of. They were dead set in their wrongness, so it is what it is. Hello, Dr. Casey, and hello, Miss Beast. Mrs. Beast, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Boop. Yeah, like, like, the worst person was making fun of me and my grandpa, asking for prayers for my grandpa as he was dying in the hospital. That's insane. That's actually insane. Like, I don't know. I couldn't imagine doing that to somebody, but I guess, like, that's the difference between a halfway decent person and a jerk, you know? Some people forget what it's like to be human, or they have issues going on in their life, and instead of letting it out in a healthy way, they take it out on other people, and it's sad. It's very sad if that's the case, but it doesn't excuse their behavior ever. Let's see, in church and Sunday school too, you didn't get in trouble? Gosh. You'd expect better there. Like, I don't know. I've taught Sunday school a couple of times. I wouldn't let that slide, and I'm a substitute. I'm a substitute in a real pinch. Like, I've done it once. Although I've been asked to do it several more times. I'm just really, really busy. And I really, in all honesty, don't think it's the place for me. But something, the gift of teaching. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm sorry for real though, but you'd expect people at church to be better, and you'd most certainly expect the authorities in charge there to actually, at the very least, apologize on their behalf. I am out of bone meal. Or bone meal. No, I have plenty of bone meal. I need saplings. Okay. I don't have any saplings. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut down this tree and it should drop a couple. For my next couple of go-arounds with the trees, I'm gonna have to just cut them down. I'm not gonna be able to go with the leaves, probably. Oh. Yeah, my old church was crazy. I could tell a lot of stories. I bet. There's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, though. I hate it. It gives Christians a bad rap. You know? As it is, I think any religious group gets a lot of crap for just existing anyway. A lot of them do anyway. But on top of that, you've got some bad actors within their organizations who really, really, really mess up things. And it's just like, it hurts. It hurts to watch. You got 155 levels. I'm impressed. I do. Unfortunately, I can't say they're like 1,000% legit. I mean, I did get all of them, but it's because I'm an operator on the server. I'm OP'd, so I unfortunately, as a byproduct, have keep inventory, and I haven't quite figured out how to remove it. It's a config file setting. I just can't remember where it is in the files, but I need to swap it over. But it forces me to have keep inventory. Is that a blueprint mod? Yes, I'm using Litematica, L-I-T-E, M-A-T-I-C-A, Litematica. Yeah, I think. Love Litematica. It's a godsend for real. I don't know what in the world I'm doing half the time when it comes to trees, and so thankfully I don't have to know with this mod. All I gotta do is just pull up the schematic, and then boop. Next thing you know, we're building a tree. I'm not even lying. At my old church, for the end of the year for the youth group, we went into a rage room. What? That's awesome. I mean, like, kind of scary, but that's kind of awesome. We did some really dumb games in my youth group. I think this is a pretty common one, so I don't think most people will bat an eye at this. I think it even made it into the schools at one point, so people were playing it at their public schools. But there's one called Toxic Trash Can, and you would form up a circle, and you'd pull on each other's arms until you got somebody to touch the trash can, and then they'd be out. That game got very brutal, very violent, very quickly. But it was a lot of fun. We also had a game called Extreme Musical Chairs. That game, again, may have made it to the schools, I don't know. But it was musical chairs, except all the chairs were a huge pile in the middle. And so if you wanted a seat, you had to jump and crawl over top of people and over top of other chairs. And there were people who broke toes playing that game because the chairs would fold in and crumble underneath people. We broke a lot of metal folding chairs. It was... That was a fun game. We're not allowed to play it ever again, but that was a fun one. Let's see. After it, the people who bullied me were scared of me. That's fair. That's fair. I would be pretty scared. I wouldn't dare bully somebody after they showed me what they can do with like a bat. Like, I'm assuming they probably had a baseball bat there. Maybe they didn't. But just destroying things, it would be scary. I would never bully somebody in the first place unless they're short. In which case, if you're short, I'm sorry, you're probably getting bullied. It's just my obligation as a certified tall person. I'm sorry to anybody out there that's short. I'm perpetuating it, but somebody has to do it. What are you making? I'm currently working on a tree. So over here in my Hobbit village, I want these huge trees, and so this one right here, it's starting to get closer to being done. I'm just trying to get it up to the top though, ever so slowly. So we're just going layer by layer by layer and hoping to get through it all. If I can get this tree done today, I'll be really, really happy. I just need to get this one done. We're just gonna do the leaves, and then I may work on the wood for the next one because I've got plenty of wood, and it would be an easy task, I think. So we'll see. But it's a part of a larger project where I've been working on my mountain range over here, with cliffs and forests and villages and volcanoes. I need to work on the volcano too. That's another thing. I'm gonna sleep really quick. I wrote their names on a plate and destroyed the plate with a metal bar. Dude, that's funny. That's actually funny. I respect it. I respect that a lot. I'm trying to think of some other games we played. We didn't really have a ton of destructive games. We did have one where you had to throw people over top of a trash can. We had a lot of fun with trash cans, if you couldn't tell. That one was destructive in terms of your body. They'd take a person by the arm on both sides, and you'd lay down, and you'd basically coil up your body enough so that you could get launched over the trash can. So you'd have two tall dudes pull you and throw you above the trash can. The problem was landing was always hard. We never really figured out the landing side of things, so I landed one time on my jaw. That's how I landed, and I don't know if this is when it started, but now I'm thinking about that, this is probably when it started. I can pop my jaw in and out of two spots. I don't know if I can make you guys hear it, but I'm going to try. Just a little warning, it's going to be a little disturbing. Okay. I don't know if you guys could hear that or not, but it pops on both sides. Yeah, we did that. I think that may have been what did it now that I think about it. It doesn't hurt to pop it in and out, but I don't think it's a good thing that it does that. I need to probably talk to my doctor about it. Now that I think about it. What else did we do? We ate warmed up chocolate pudding out of a diaper. That was fun. Nothing like eating hot chocolate pudding out of a baby diaper. But that wasn't destructive. Honestly, we were relatively tame with a lot of our games. There are so many other groups that did way worse. Dodgeball was a bad idea. We put middle schoolers up against high schoolers. The high schoolers threw it, and you could hear the air whizzing by, and the middle schoolers were throwing, and it'd barely go anywhere. That was fun. Those poor middle schoolers didn't know what was hitting them. I'm trying to think. We do any other stupid games? There's a classic one, Birdie on a Perch. That one hurt. That one had the tendency to hurt. If you don't know what that one is, you have a birdie and you have a perch. And so a birdie is somebody who is going to sit on the perch, who is another person. And you have two circles. And so you've got your inner circle, which I believe is usually the perch. And then you have your outer circle, which is usually the birdie. Well, it was really awkward when you paired up boys and girls on that one, especially when they did it for Valentine's Day. That was fun. We had a lot of weird Valentine's Day games. I'll explain those in a little bit. That one we oh boy. We would knock each other over. We'd knock over the other perches and the other birdies. And occasionally, you know, usually the agreement was, okay, well, we'll make the bigger person the perch and the smaller person the birdie. That way it's not going to hurt either of us. But occasionally you'd have a rare instance of perch on a birdie, which meant the perch was supposed to sit on top of the birdie. So people like me who are built with like a probably, I don't know, 5 percentile body fat.
Hello there.
And then you've got somebody, thank you for the subscription, I appreciate it, Pam. You got somebody that sits on you that's probably, they'd give Queso a run for their money. You know, it led to some fun. There were more than a couple of people that got hurt in that game. I've never had anything like that, but at church camp, the older girls sang Justin Bieber's Baby so loud, the younger kids were hiding under the beds with pillows over their heads. That's insane. And that's actually really funny. Church camp. What were some dumb things they did there? We built cardboard boat boxes. This is a fun one. We almost killed one of our teammates doing that. You know, we had a lake at our campground, and so what we did was we were doing boat races, and so we'd build it out of cardboard, and you could get some different supplies by luck of the draw. So one of the things we got was duct tape, and we got tablecloths, things like that would help keep the water out, hopefully. We made ourselves a little kayak, and it worked great until it started sinking. And then the flaps folded in on the guy. And so you just see his head poking up, and the flaps are folding down, and the boat is sinking, and this kid is like, I'm gonna drown. I can't remember if we had to get an adult to go in and get him, or if he managed to get out himself. But we almost killed our teammate because of some stupid design choices. I think that was the last time they did that. Which was good. Probably. I almost drowned a lot there. That was fun. That was really, really fun. That's also how I learned I could swim. To an extent. There was one time at camp we had one of our counselors, he was into CrossFit, and he told the teenagers that he would take them out to go CrossFit if they wanted to, because they kept saying it was really easy. And so the whole cabin basically agreed that we were gonna go do it with him. And he's like, okay, well, first things first, guys. If you want to do this, you have to run around the lake with me, because that's our warm-up. And we ran around the lake, and we made it about halfway, and my friend fell down, and I stayed with him. Partially because I was like completely and totally gassed by a quarter of the way, but I pushed myself to keep going. But also because, like, you know, he's my friend, I didn't want to leave him there. Hello, welcome on in, Exa. I'm gonna pronounce your name that way if that's okay. Hello from the United States. That was fun. They didn't come back for us. We eventually made it back to the cabin. They're like, where were you guys? And we're like, we just decided that we were gonna slow down there. I didn't even tell my friend that he fell. We just pretended nothing happened. Oh man. Valentine's games were fun. So for Valentine's Day, there was another game we played where you had to pass the lifesaver from one person to the next. A lifesaver, like the little piece of candy, the little one with the circle in the middle of it. And it was either, I think they were usually mints, but some of them were fruit flavored even. They did that, and the catch was you weren't just passing it from person to person. You were doing it. I'm gonna say it this way, but you're just gonna have to bear with me because we had a worse game that I'm gonna tell you guys about. We were doing it mouth to mouth, okay? I could have phrased that so much better. So we had toothpicks in our mouth, okay? And we were passing the lifesaver mint from one person over to the next person with toothpicks. And so you were getting like super close, like all you would see were the other person's eyes, and you'd be like within kissing distance of this person. We played that as a Valentine's game. That was fun. We had another game. This one was mouth to mouth. It was we were passing an egg. So one person would have a spoon in their mouth. Do I have? I've got a knife. I can do it with a knife, okay? So imagine this is a spoon. You'd put it in your mouth like this. And it would sit there, and you'd put an egg on it. Well, then you'd have to pass the egg to another person, and he put the egg in his mouth halfway. Well, then he'd have to turn around and put the egg from his mouth onto the next person's spoon. And that would be fine if it stopped there. But there would be a person after that guy who had a spoon. And that they would have to pick up the egg with their mouth. And then they would pass it again. And you know, that was fun. I got the spoon. I begged and begged and begged for the spoon, and they yielded. I told them I probably wouldn't play unless I got the spoon. So, you know, I think I really won there. What other game did we play? Oh, there's one. This all happened the year COVID happened, but we didn't know COVID was a thing. It was just this random mystery disease that was still in China, but we think we had a confirmed case in California at the time. That's when this was. So, like, keep that in mind. We had this piece of plexiglass, and there was two big globs of peanut butter on either side. And you'd have two people on either side of the plexiglass trying to lick as much peanut butter off as humanly possible. And so you'd be staring at each other licking this piece of glass. And it would look like you're licking each other. That was fun. That was really, really fun. Valentine's Day games go crazy. Okay? They just do. I didn't get to play that one, but I should have. I love peanut butter, dude, and I would have made it so awkward for the other person. I would have kept eye contact. Like, it would have been great. But they were all like, "No, you're too skinny, King. If you go up there, you'll be too slow." I'm like, "No, you don't understand. I have an obsession with peanut butter." But they didn't know. They didn't know any better. Oh well. Let's see. Some stuff happened. Do tell, Ryan. Do tell. Lightning McBean is kind of back. Oh. What happened, dude? What happened? Can I ask how old you were when you played these? I was a teenager. I would have... Most of those games I played when I was... like 15 to 16. And then I moved when I was 17, so I didn't play those games really anymore. Just because there wasn't much of a youth group where I moved. But they were fun. They were really fun. Oh boy. Some of those games, like the trash can, the ones that were really physical, I played when I was like 12, 13, all the way up until I was probably about 16, when I finally did quit those. Yeah, that was fun. The fact you all did that for youth group, yeah. You know, it sounds a lot worse than it actually was, probably, but I mean, it was pretty bad, I won't lie. There's another game. This one's not nearly as bad, but it's kind of funny. Everybody had to lay down on the ground in a line, and you had to roll this one person would lay on top of everybody, and you'd have to roll them along by just using your bodies. That was a high physical contact game, which is kind of surprising, you know, given how the church is usually about, you know, touching each other. It was a really interesting game, though. That one was fun. Hey, man, having a rough night. I'm just gonna watch and hang out if that's okay. Yeah, that's cool, dude. It's absolutely all right. The fact, so King, we need to discuss something? Okay. That's minorly concerning. What's up? What's up, Ryan? I'm gonna wait to do that and that. I will do this though. I could literally never do any of those things. Looking back at it now, I probably wouldn't have done them. But I was a really stupid teenager, and even the things I didn't want to do, I still did because I was led to believe it was going to make me cool. There was one game in specific that I did really, really, really well, and I would definitely play again. I think I would play Trash Can again. That one was good. But there was this balloon battle game we did where it was Mario Kart, and that one was physical contact sport, really. You had sweaty people touching each other the entire time. It was awful. But you'd get these little balloons and you tie them around your feet, and you had to pop everybody else's balloons. And I was really good at that game. I beat everybody. It was me against like this really big dude and then this one girl. But the problem was I didn't want to touch the girl at all because I didn't want to, like, you know, I didn't want anything questionable there. So I didn't use like my hands for any of it, and it was very tough because she was cheating and she touched me with her hands. But you know, it is what it is. I won though. I won for my team. I brought a lot of pride to the team, honestly. We had, I remember I couldn't see afterwards. I was so dehydrated. I was drenched in sweat. And I won, and I remember I ran around the room. I did a victory lap. I said, I looked up towards my brother. I didn't know exactly where he was, but I knew generally where he was. And I said his name. I was like, yo, insert name here. We did it. And, you know, pulled a Rocky reference there. That was fun. And then this other guy, he lifted me. We went full celebration mode there. I get very competitive, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. You know, it's a double-edged sword, I would say. There's nothing wrong with being a little competitive, but I wasn't what you'd call a little competitive. I was very, very competitive. I do miss being young. That is not a phrase I ever thought I could ever say. But I'm really not young anymore. I'm actually in charge of that age group somewhat often. This last weekend I was in charge of teenagers. Which is so wild to me. How did that happen? How did I get so old? The world may never know. Time just doesn't stop, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Can I sleep? Not yet. That's okay. It is actually really, really toasty in my room. I don't know. I don't know how long I can last at it, if I'm honest. I'm just now noticing how hot it is, though. That's the thing. I will figure that out in a minute. How much more tree do we have to go? It's such a big tree. If it weren't so annoyingly large, I would say, let's go until it's done today. And that's really what I want to say. That's honestly what I want to do, but I don't think I can. I'm gonna have to work on it off stream more than likely. Man. Ow. I have hiccups now. Okay. Man. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm super competitive too. Like, someone I didn't like said he was amazing at rollerblading, and I was like, good at it too. We went to the roller rink, and when he saw me skating, he left the rink fuming. That's awesome. That is amazing. I would really love to go roller skating again. I haven't been since February of last year. I went with my mom. And she was really, really good because that's what she used to do for fun, was roller skating. That was the end thing. When she was a kid and when she was a teenager, that's just what you went and did, was you went roller skating. I did not have that experience growing up. So she was skating circles around me. And I was over there falling on my butt every couple of minutes. But it was so much fun. I want to do it again. I'm competitive when it comes to Monopoly, though. Uh-oh. My screen just turned off. There it goes. Okay. But yeah, I want to go. I want to go back and do skating. I want to go ice skating again. That would be fun. But I don't. This goes back to the other thing. I don't have anybody to go skating with. It is a problem. A problem indeed. And I've had a couple of people offer solutions, but their solutions are easier said than done. So I don't know what I'll do about that. I haven't been there in a while because I went there with my ex-bestie. She still goes there, so I can't go there anymore since I ghosted her. That's fair. That is fair. I haven't been able to say I avoid places because of people. That's because I've moved around enough that, like, every time I make an enemy or I want to avoid certain people, I move. I don't ever have to see them again. That sounds super drastic. I promise that's not the only reason why I moved, but it was a bonus. It was certainly a bonus, you know? She keeps texting and calling me, and she lives like 15 minutes away, so I can't go there anymore. Dang. That sucks. I'll admit, I have ghosted some people. And maybe that's not my proudest moment, but I'll be honest, it was more for myself than it was for them, which I'm gonna say is fair. It was also beneficial to them for me to do that. From what I hear, they're doing a whole lot better now that I did ghost them. Did it suck? Sure. But it had to be done. Now, I don't know what your bestie did, so you don't have to say. But, my friend in specific, the situation there was messy. It was very messy. She had a couple of issues that led to her being very overly attached to me. And I handled it as gracefully as I could and tried to set firm boundaries, tried to make everything not go poorly. But no matter what I did, it was always a mess. You know, if I didn't respond one day, there'd be another text the next day asking if I was okay. And it became very stressful. It became a chore to be their friend rather than just being their friend. And all our conversations basically were just revolving around memes. And I felt like I didn't really have a firm basis of friendship with them outside of those memes. That's all we did was send memes back and forth. And it eventually expanded into me being their personal therapist, which is fine. I don't mind being a therapist for people. I enjoy helping people, but when you also have your own professional therapist and you do neither what your professional therapist says or what I tell you to do, it becomes very, very, very emotionally draining to try to help you get through those problems. And beyond that, she also very much so developed a liking to me. And had a huge, huge crush on me, which was not reciprocated. And I think I handled it as gracefully as I could. And I stayed her friend for a very long time, attempting to navigate through that with her, but it eventually came to the point where I had to. Oh my goodness! Crusader, thank you for the follow, and dude, thank you for the gifted subs. What the heck? Thank you, dude. Oh, who got some subs here? Alfie, Just Cause, Portal, Ryan, and Bun Bun W. What the heck? Thank you so much, dude. God bless, man. God bless you too. I appreciate that. That's really sweet of you. Wow. I was just chilling. Oh, we're in a hype train too. When did that happen? Okay. Wow. What the heck? I appreciate it. I really do. You're amazing for that. Well, you're just amazing in general, but you're amazing for that in specific. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I forgot what I was talking about. Okay. I'm lost. I think I am officially lost. Uh-oh. I'm cooked. Thank you again. I can't say thank you enough. I get really lost when people give me money. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do, and I appreciate it though. Thank you. Seriously. Boop. I'm gonna keep working on the tree now. Okay. Boop. I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you. Like that it just keeps coming to mind. I don't know. I've said it 100 times. I will probably say it 100 times more. Man. That was awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you for Lurk Panda. I appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you for spending your taxes. Also appreciate that. Oh, my eyes. Okay. That's one thing I forgot to mention. I forgot to take my medicine yesterday, which isn't usually a big deal. But allergy season has been really, really, really bad. And I take allergy medication usually. It didn't hurt me yesterday, but I feel it today. Like, the allergies have been really bad. And I did take it today, so it's not as bad as it could have been. But, allergies suck. They suck so bad. Okay. Boop. Okay. I'm gonna need to go grab some more water before long, I think. I'm sweating buckets up here. Aw, man. I should, I should make a Minecraft texture pack that replaces the flying sounds with neurons. I bet you it's probably easy. And if it is, I should do it. That should be a whole video. Why don't I do that? Not for my next video, but my next like big video. I don't know. I know like not everybody watches the YouTube videos, but one of my more recent videos, in fact, the most recent big video I did was how to find the perfect seed in Minecraft. And I'm really proud of how that turned out. And I spent a lot more time on it than I have in the past on other videos. I think the texture pack could be the next one of those, maybe. Just me making my own texture pack, and then I'll give it to everybody for free. That way everybody can play with my fun texture pack that has its own sounds. It would really be a sound pack. I don't think I want to do... I don't think I really want to do a texture pack, because that would require a lot more work, and I'm not an artist by any means. Okay. I'm trying to think. My brain just literally quit working. This sucks. It's funny, but it sucks. You get a couple of dollars thrown at you, and I'm just like short-circuiting over here. Like I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. It's a weird problem. It's a very weird problem to have. Okay. I am very, very, very tired, though. It may have to be this layer that I quit. I don't know. I mean, what are our next couple of layers looking like? They're getting smaller, so I mean, I may be able to do 2 layers. Maybe. With them getting smaller, it does give me a little bit more hope. But I may just grind out the rest of it off stream when I have some extra free time. And by extra free time, I mean when I'm recording my next video. Oh, that's a fun thing. I don't know. I don't know where we're at right now with it. Let me actually pull it up. We have a lot of subscribers, and when I hit 800, I'm intending to do a Q&A. How close are we to 800? We're at 788. Why? Why do people subscribe to me? I don't know. I'm confused. Okay. We're getting close to 800. Really close, apparently. And I'm going to do another Q&A for that. So, I'll need to probably put that in the Discord server before long. That we're going to be doing a Q&A. That way people will have time to think of some questions and then submit them as well. Man. It's been an insane year, guys. Really, I mean it. I never in a million years thought my 2025 was gonna be like this, but things actually are starting to kind of go somewhere, and it makes me feel good. Because you know, before back in 2024, I still hadn't started work on my game, and I really had no hope of even beginning to do that.
Hello there.
I hadn't been doing much. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Sukadi. Thank you. But I really didn't have much of a plan for my game. I didn't have much of a plan for YouTube and for Twitch. And now that I'm like here, it's like it's crazy. It's so insane. It's really, really cool. And I can't wait. I really just can't wait to see what happens next, you know? I realize I paused a really long time there, but my brain took a second. It wanted to reset. We're good now. Yeah, I don't know, man. What a year. And we're already almost halfway through it. Like, can you imagine that? How has it almost been half a year? Crazy. Okay. No. I didn't pick it up, dang it. Okay, fly back up. Alright. Let me just double check something really, really quick. Reload that. Okay. Okay, we're good. Just need to make sure that was still running. Okay. Over here. Boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. And over here, we've got plenty. Oh no. Oh. Okay. There we go. Just gotta get this tree done. I say done. We're gonna get this layer done. How's it been 2 hours? I just looked over how long we've been live. It's been almost 2 hours? Why? How? What? I guess time flies by when you're having fun, but I didn't think that much time had flown by, and I didn't think I was having that much fun. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I'm having fun, but wow. Okay. That's a good problem to have. That's a really, really good problem to have. Just have a hard time believing. Okay. We need more leaves. I need more leaves. Ouch. Okay. Just gotta bone meal all the trees. And we'll take their leaves. And then we'll be good to go. Oop. Whoa, that was a weird screen glitch. Okay. Let me go sleep really quick. It's almost time. Man. I'm sleepy for some reason. Very, very, very sleepy. Alright, come back up here and let's... Oh, wait, we can't finish the job. We need the leaves. We need the leaves. Okay. Boop. I have to go up to the top side to do that. Okay. Thank you. Okay. And just fly right back up there really quick. Thank you. Why do I say thank you to a game when I'm doing everything? You know, that's a problem. I could probably fix that problem, but we'll see if I ever get around to that. Okay. I am roasting alive in here. Oh man, I keep forgetting I'm here. That's a concerning problem. That is a concerning problem. Let me get just a little bit of stretch in here. There we go. Gotta turn it. Should pop my back. There we go. Other side. There we go. Okay. Much, much, much better. At least I feel much better. Alright, let's finish up this layer of leaves. Shouldn't be too much longer, and we'll have it all done. Boop. Oh, lag spike. Actually getting a couple lag spikes, dang. More, there we go. Boop, boop. Take that. Man, that lag spike. I'm wondering, is it chunk borders? Let's just turn on my chunk borders for now and we'll see. Oh. Okay, just like that. I almost fell and died. I actually would have died from that height, but you know, it's the thought that counts or something like that. Maybe. finish. My brain is so dead. I don't know what happened. But it feels heavy. My brain feels heavy. That's the only way I can describe it. Oh wow. I can only do so much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to finish my task here. It's not too much longer. Boop, boop, boop. You know, it's moments like this that remind me, I need to add music to my streams. That's like the only thing that's missing is that constant music in the background. Although I still don't know what kind of music to put in the background, but you know, that's neither here nor there right now. How's that looking from up above? Almost done. Almost done. Our chunk borders aren't giving me any lag tips, so we'll go and turn that off again. Man, I'm tired. Okay. Back up here. Luckily, all this is all connected up to other spots, so we don't have a bunch of breaking and placing. Oop. Ah. I'm wore out. I don't know what happened, but I just hit brick wall of energy, basically. Which is fine. That is just fine. Dang it. Oh. Okay. Dang it. I keep dropping these things. It's awful. Okay. Okay. How's that look? Okay, I can go back towards the middle. Okay. Really, really dark. Oop. That's not what I wanted. Right out of the bed here, I was like, oh, I'll just sleep here so I can see again. Nope. I cannot do that. Oh, well. I used to have a yellow bed over there, I think. I don't know what happened to it, though. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna say that's good for now. I think that's probably for the best. So we're nowhere near being done. But you know, that's okay. We're doing things. Yay. 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 So yeah, that's that for now. Um I'm sorry that I'm like completely and totally out of my mind right now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. Uh, and oh, it's ads right now. Dang it. Of course they started right when I was getting ready to wrap things up. Okay. Well, I just gotta say it. Thank you, Crusader Orthodox, again for those gifted subs earlier. That was much appreciated. And thank you guys, everybody, for watching. Now, YouTube, I would love to, but I don't have access to the feature for this, so I'm going to have to wrap things up here. So I appreciate you all for hanging around. And I will hopefully see you guys again in the near future. So thank you, YouTube, for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I will hopefully see you guys again tomorrow when we're back on Twitch SMP, which is not viewer joinable. I'm sorry, I know that sucks. But it'll be just as good of a time, I think. So I'll see you YouTube later. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye, YouTube. Bye-bye.